Aloha everyone, what's going on my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video we're going to be talking about the various different rewards you can expect to see from the ORTHEN Digsite coming out on the 19th. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, this is all information coming from the latest live stream. As I have said, Jagex took the time to show off pretty much all the rewards you can expect from the ORTHEN Digsite coming out on the 19th. Now to get started, I want to talk about the Skeletal T-Rex, which is basically the pylon style event for this dig site. Just like the pylon, it's a community driven event in which once you collect all the bones and complete the statue, there is a buff across all worlds for the Anachronia area. This will last 65 minutes in total, and it includes several benefits, one which being a 25% XP buff to the Anachronia skilling activities found on the island. That's your things like your agility, your big game hunter, regular hunter, slayer, etc. Obviously with this new dig site, archaeology as well. Now the only activity that doesn't actually get this 25% XP buff is artifact restoration and checking your animals on the dinosaur farm. In addition, specific to archaeology, when this buff is active, you're going to get an increased modifier to your precision, which means that you're going to be finding artifacts more often. Now aside from this 25% XP buff, you're also going to be getting approximately a 10% increase to the various drops found on Anachronia. Now I say approximately because it does vary from item to item. These items include things like the codex pages from the agility course, the boots from the slayer monsters, and the maul pieces from Big Game Hunter. So that'll pretty much cover the community event that you're going to be finding on the ORTHEN Digsite. Now I want to talk about the 3 new relics that you can get your hands on when this launches. We don't know all the methods on which you can get each relic. One does come from a collection, but I imagine the others are probably going to be coming from mysteries or something similar. Anyways, you're seeing on screen here the look, or at least the artwork look, of the 3 new relics, and I'll quickly talk about exactly what they do. On the left hand side we have Evil Bob's Cat Paw. This relic will benefit fishing in that any fish that you catch while this relic is active will automatically be cooked for you. This does appear to have some niche usage, but I do imagine it will be particularly useful for Iron Man that'll cut down on their time spent gathering food. Any fish caught while this relic is active will earn you half of the XP you would have gotten in cooking if you had cooked it yourself. And it also has a 0% chance of ever burning the fish you catch. Moving on to the artifact on the right hand side, that is called Soma, and what it does is it will give you a 20% increase to your precision in archaeology at the cost of never receiving any of the dig site soils. I imagine many people would not find that to be a negative, as not only does it save you the small amount of charges from the auto screener, but it also saves you signs of the porter, since normally anything that gets auto screened does get sent away to your porters if you have them. This does mean, however, that you are going to have far less materials for the amount of artifacts you would have previously, because obviously not only are you not getting the soil sifted and therefore missing out on much more materials per hour, but also with the 20% increase to your precision, you're going to be finding artifacts at a much faster rate than if you didn't have the relic. So you're going to have a very different artifact to material ratio if you have Soma active. This one seems a little bit more beneficial to mainscapers or non-Iron Man accounts. Only major downside is that you're going to have to purchase more materials than before, or if you're somebody who chooses the DIY, you're going to spend more time at the caches than you currently do now. Now finally we have the artifact in the middle, the Caladonda. This is a relic that was actually considered for the release of archaeology but did not make the cuts. What this relic will do is it will automatically note any of the bones or ashes you get from monster drops. A couple of things to note: your bone crusher as well as your prayer urns will take priority over this relic. So if you do have those active, they will either get crushed by the Bone Crusher or collected from the urns, and they will not be noted for you to collect. If you do have the bone pickup benefit from the Bone Crusher, it will pick up those bones for you and they will be noted. Otherwise, you'll find them noted on the ground. So if you're somebody who normally just keeps the Bone Crusher on, or the Ectoplasmator or urns, etc., and you don't necessarily care about the prayer XP, maybe you'll consider using this relic, forego that prayer XP to make a potential couple extra mil on your Slayer task, obviously depending on what you're doing. Overall, all three relics seem like they're very good. They do have their uses, and I imagine there's pretty much something out there for everyone with this addition. Also with this release, not only are we getting these three relics, but they are increasing our relic power. Currently we have 500 at the top end. We don't know exactly what number that will increase to, but Mod Rally says it's pretty significant and we should be pretty happy with it. So I'm excited to see that. There's probably going to be new combinations of interesting relic powers that you can have activated that weren't previously possible. Now I want to move away from relics and talk about potions, as well as recipe tablets that we didn't previously know about. So with the new potions, there's going to be recipe tablets that need to be created and consumed in order to have the ability to make the potions. Each one is assigned to a specific excavation site, and when you're excavating there, you're going to get fragments of the tablets. There are 4 fragments that make a complete tablet, and these tablets are tradable, so you can just buy them from another player, or you can hunt them down yourself once you know which excavation site holds which tablet. That's not something that was revealed on stream, so we'll find that information out when it launches. Having said that, let's talk about the level requirements as well as what the potions do. Starting off at level 78, you're going to find yourself with the Archaeology potion. Basically, it gives you a +3 to your Archaeology level, lasts for 6 minutes. This will be beneficial as it'll allow you to access dig sites that you currently don't have the level for, and there are a number of reasons why you'd want to do that. At level 88, we have the Summoning Renewal potion. This one's pretty straightforward, works similar to a prayer renewal, in that over 6 minutes it will restore your summoning points, but this also does restore your summoning special move points as well. At level 98, we have the Holy Aggro Overload. This one is pretty straightforward. It is just an overload mixed with a aggro potion and mixed with a prayer renewal. They do say on stream that there are multiple ways to create this potion, so if you do have, for example, a couple of aggro overloads, you will be able to convert them to holy aggro overloads, and any other combination will likely be possible as well. At 103, we have the Power Burst of Opportunity. What this does is when you take a sip, for 10 seconds, you have a chance to use it, and when it goes off, it will double your progress with mining or with archaeology, which means you're going to want to be smart about it. You're going to want to use it usually when you're about to go to another Rockertunity, or when your time sprite focus is about to hit 100%, because that's when you get the bonus progress. So that's what you're going to want to double. This potion actually has the potential to be better than launch as time goes on if Jagex decides to rework or add new skills that do have some similar function to Rockertunities and time sprite focus. So that is interesting. It does have a little bit of future proofing with it. And at level 116, we have our final potion, the Spirit Attraction potion. What this does, you drink it, and for 6 minutes, it will collect all of the various different random entities that pop up while you're skilling. That includes things like the Saren Spirit, Fire Spirits, Divination Chronicles, Blessings from the Gods. Those kinds of things will be automatically collected when they spawn if you're skilling at those appropriate skills or with Grace of the Elves and Brooch of the Gods. So this will be really good if you're somebody like me who tends to always miss my Saren Spirits and Blessings of the Gods. What typically happens is I spend like 20 minutes staring at the screen, decide to go AFK for 2 minutes, and when I come back I find out I missed a spirit or something like that. Happens all the time, and this will no longer be an occurrence if you use this potion. Finally, the last thing we're going to talk about for this video is skilling offhands. There are two being introduced with this update. We have the Orthen Furnace Core, which will benefit your fire making and smithing, and the Artificer's Measure, which will benefit your crafting and construction. Both of these skilling offhands will have a relatively lengthy creation process, not in the same sense as Masterwork, but they won't necessarily be the easiest thing to make, and in some cases there are untradeable items required to make these, so there are some bit of work that you will have to do yourself instead of having to buy all the materials from the GE or from another player or something like that. Some of those untradeable items being archaeology artifacts, so that does put a hard archaeology requirement on these devices, so keep that in mind. In fact, they did say on live stream that it will require 102 archaeology as well as 99 smithing and crafting to create these. So this is definitely aimed at post 99 skilling. That said, we're going to talk about exactly what they do. These offhands actually have a plethora of bonuses for their associated skill. Not only are they going to have an XP boost to the skill that you're training, but there are some hyper-specific effects to the skills related to that particular offhand. We're going to take a look first at the Orthen Furnace Core, which will benefit firemaking and smithing. First off, when held in the offhand slot, using the Superheat Prayer will not drain your prayer points at all. Also, it will increase the benefits from the Dungeoneering Scrolls, increasing the ability to save a bar from 2% up to 2.5%. If you're using the Pyromaniac or the Breakdown perk, and those perks happen to proc, you will gain a flat 5% XP buff to firemaking and smithing for 5 minutes. If those perks decide to proc again within that timer, it resets the timer for another 5 minutes. For fire making, this will convert all of your fire spirits into a new clickable called Forged Phoenixes. These will have a much more significant drop table, including things like higher tier stone spirits, more runes and more charms, and they also have additional drops such as onyx dust and phoenix feathers. Additionally, if you do have that benefit from the Memorial to Guthix that converts your fire spirits into divine fire spirits, that will convert your forged phoenixes into divine forged phoenixes, and they will have increased drops or improved drops as well. For example, the divine spirits would give you lower tier porters, divine forged phoenixes will give you much higher tier porters. They also revealed that using this offhand will allow you to get these phoenixes from not only fire making but smithing as well. And that is your furnace core. We're going to have a look now at the Artificer's Measure and see what kind of benefits that has. Essentially, this is an upgraded gem bag that is reflected in one of its perks, in which it allows you to hold up to 100 of each type of gem. And much like the Furnace Core, it increases the benefits of the Dungeoneering Scrolls associated with crafting and construction, boosting those occurrences by about 25%. Whenever one of those resource saving scroll abilities procs when you are using this artifact, it will give you a stack of Artificer's Focus, which will give you a 0.5% XP buff to crafting and construction. This buff can stack up to 10 times, giving you a full 5% bonus XP to those two skills. Also, for crafting, if you have this in your offhand slot and you're training at the harps in the Ithel district in Elf City, it will act as if the Ithel hour for the Voice of Saren is active all the time. So you'll be getting those benefits constantly. And finally, if you're firing urns or doing any glass blowing, you have a 5% chance to double the product that you're creating. And that is it for your skilling offhands, and subsequently that is it for all of the rewards revealed with today's live stream regarding what you can expect coming from the ORTHEN DIGSITE on the 19th. The last thing I will close out on is two images of one of the interior sections of the ORTHEN DIGSITE. Remember that this is just one tiny portion of the dig site, as the dig site is scattered all across Anachronia, and this is just one small area. There are more like this, but this does give you a feel of what you can expect the general architecture, etc. will feel like when this comes out. Anyways, that's it for the video. Let me know what you guys think about anything discussed in it down in the comments below. I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you are not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Aloha.